Okay, in 1968, I was 18 years old and I married my best friend who had just come back from Vietnam. He was a Marine. He was getting orders for Guam. Now, I, as a bride, had already got pregnant. I was one of those first nighters, you know. At least that's what I tell my children. Anyway, he goes to Guam, and he's half Guamanian, so he's got family there. And with the help of his family, he's going to find us a place to live because the base housing is full up. Well, okay, so I wait a month and another month and another month, and he still hasn't got anything. Finally, he calls me up. He says, I got us a house. 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, bath, and a long garage. And I thought, hot darn, white house, green shutters, picket fence, brick walkway. Surely that's what he's got for me. So he sent me a ticket, and I got on an aeroplane. I had never been on an aeroplane before. You know, we just walk around the ninth ward. We don't fly. But anyway, so I get on the airplane, and I fly from New Orleans to Dallas, and from Dallas to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles to Hawaii, and there I have an 8-hour layover. Well, actually, it turns out to be 9. The plane is late. I think, oh, goodness, I got to ring Joe on the phone. His name's Joe Perez, by the way. So I ring him on the phone at the brig staff where he works to tell him I'm going to be late. Back in those days, they had no such thing as an answering machine. The phone rang, and it rang. And furthermore, it rang. And then the plane is like, you know, get on the plane. So I'm thinking, Lord have mercy, I'm getting on this plane. Going to Guam with my little stomach. So I get on the plane in my beautiful blue linen dress with my genuine simulated alligator shoes. I'm going to look hot for this man, even with my little pot gut. I fly and fly and fly. I look out the window and I see water. I fly some more. Then I get tired and I go and take me a nap. And then all of a sudden, kaboom, welcome to Guam, they say. Oh, okay. So I got to put my shoes on, but my feet have swelled and I can't get my shoes on. I cannot wear my genuine simulated alligator shoes with my beautiful dress that's now rumpled. And I'm worried. Where is Joe going to even know I'm here? So they opened the doors, and I felt like suddenly I'd been hit with a bucket of warm water. I thought New Orleans was hot. It's like 94 degrees in Guam, and the humidity's like maybe 98%. Whoa, I proceed to start sweating. So I got my shoes in my hand, I start walking to the door, and then I look down, and I got to walk down, 20 steps, and I scan the crowd for Joe. Well, the crowd is mostly Guamanians, so they all look like Joe. I don't see Joe. I usually know what he looks like, but he's not down there, so my heart's starting to go, a little bit. I make it down the stairs, and my feet are hot because the freaking pavement is hot. And I'm like, oh, word in this world. And I look over at the air terminal, and here he comes, and he's wet too. He's in his khaki uniform. He's sweating like a, I don't know what. And he runs out there, he gives me a big hug, and I said, oh, thank the Lord in heaven. And he says, I'll pick you up, baby. I know your feet are killing you. And so he carries me to this 1965 Ford station wagon that has seen better days. And I get in this thing, and he says, I'm going to take you on a tour of Guam. There's 2 roads here. I said, wow, I'm excited now. We go down the hill, and I see the sea. There it is. It's the Pacific Ocean. We go all the way down, and then we're on Marine Drive, named after the Marines that let them go from the Japanese. And I'm in the car, and I'm saying, okay, where's the sights? He says, well, there's a beautiful sea. I said, yeah, there it is. And there's waves and palm trees. Oh, look, there's some more sea and waves. Another palm tree. There's nothing on Guam. So he drives past the U.S. Naval Station front gate. He says, that's where I work. Okay. He drives a little ways further. We pass through Santa Rita, and we get to Agate. Agate, what a wonderful, charming name. So we get to Agate, and we go a little ways, and then up this little dirt road we go, and then we make a right. And I'm thinking the whole time about my White House, green shutters, picket fence, brick walkway. He pulls in front of this 2-story monstrous house, and I think, all right, we done hit the jackpot now. So I jump up and get out the car, and I started walking to the front porch. There's a veranda that's like 15 feet off the ground. I said, man, we have made it here. He runs up behind me with the suitcase. He says, no, we don't go in there. Go around the back. Okay, we go in the back door. So I walk to the back, and I see another set of steps, and I start going up the He says, wait a minute, not there. Okay, where? He says, there. There is an army green corrugated tin shack. You gotta be kidding me. This is a joke. And he looks down all kinds of sad. I fixed it up real nice for you. Okay. He says, let me go in first because it's missing a step. So he goes up the first step and the second step and over the third step into the fourth, and he goes inside. And then he reaches down, pulls me up. I get inside. I look at this house, and it's got plank floors, 12 by 2s, with half-inch cracks between the boards. I can see the dirt up underneath the house and the Guamanian chickens. I am excited about these birds. I have never seen such. Okay, I said, this is unusual. You got the floors, you know, there's like, he says, that's all right. He says, you can get the hose in here and just hose it down. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. So that is what I did while I was there. I hosed the floor. Then he shows me my kitchen. It is a beautiful shade of army green to match the outside. I have a green card table for a dining room table. He shows me the hot plate, 2 burners. And the 1945 refrigerator, GE no less, that is maybe 2 inches taller than me. Okay. He tells me how he has fixed up the living room. It does have green paint on one wall. And he's got peel and stick tiles stuck up there. And I said, what about the glass in the window? Oh, there ain't no glass here. You need the breeze. I said, what about them walls? Why don't they go to the ceiling? He says, that's so the breeze can come through. He says, and through that kitchen door lives Flory Cruz. She has no water. So she'll be coming over and using our toilet and shower. And, oh, by the way, she'll be brushing her teeth in our kitchen sink like we will because we got no bathroom sink. I am beginning to feel troubled at this time. I said, look, I got to pee. Where's the bathroom at? He said, well, he takes me to the bathroom. He says, look, I fixed up the shower. It is cardboard, no less. I said, cardboard shower? He says, no, it's masonite. And look, I put in a drain. Okay. And then he shows me the window back there. It looks like a picture window, but it doesn't have no glass. And there sits some roosting chickens. And then right next to it is the toilet in North Carolina. Well, I figure if you got to be watched by somebody when you go to the bathroom, it might as well be a chicken. So I sit on the toilet, and the toilet rocks, kind of like the hula. I believe the gasket on the thing is busted, and I tell him I think this thing's going to fall through the floor. He says, no, I went up underneath there and I braced it. Okay. Joe goes to work the next day. I do not speak Chamorro, which is the native language. My landlord comes over. Her name is Mrs. Babalta. She smiles at me and says, half a day, which means hello in Guamanian. And I say, half a day to you too. And she starts telling me all about the Tau Mona bird. And I'm really transfixed by this woman because she's got completely and utterly black teeth. I mean, really black teeth. See, the thing is on Guam, they chew betel nut. It turns your teeth black. So she's telling me all about Guam, and then she says, I said, well, I think I want to go walk down by the beach sometime. You and I can do that together, maybe in the evening. She says, oh, no. Can't do that. You see, the Tau Mona bird wants to eat the unborn children of pregnant women. And if you walk down there, especially alone at night, the Tau Mona bird will come and rip your stomach open and take your unborn baby and eat it. And we'll find you on the beach without your baby and dead. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Pabalta. I really appreciate that. Well, you know, in and out, here comes Flory using my turlet and going back and forth. Hi, Flory, how you doing? And that goes all right, but I have trouble speaking Chamorro, and I'm also not used to this kind of land here. The first night I sleep there, I go to sleep, and I'm like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know. I can't do it right. That's more like it. And I hear cock-a-doodle-doo underneath my floor there. Cock-a-doodle-doo, 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 cock-a-doodle. 5,000 chickens. 2 o'clock in the morning they're crowing. I ain't never heard of such a thing. Well, I'm starting to get depressed. My ex-husband goes to work. Well, he's my ex-husband now. I don't know why. But anyway, one evening I decide I'm going to walk down to the beach, whether Miss Babalta thinks that's a smart idea or not. I'm completely and utterly depressed at this point. And I walk down to the beach and it's sunset. And I'm going to tell you what, you ain't seen a sunset till you see one on Guam. They're freaking beautiful. It's like orange and just in the waves. Remember, they got waves and water. And the water comes along and it drops off the little fish in these little tide pools. And they're the kind of fish you pay good money for at the aquarium store. And, of course, later on, Mama Waves comes and takes them back out. So I'm standing and I'm looking out and I'm thinking, 7,400 miles to New Orleans. And I'm getting furthermore depressed. And I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I hear, whoof! And I look to my side, and there she is. She stands, I guarantee you, 6 foot. She's got a curved head, red feathers, and long eyelashes like a really nice trollop kind of woman. She's got green and yellow feathers. And she does a mind meld with me, and I'm really a little nervous here. She says, I know that you want to go home. I know that you are lonely. Hop on my back and I'll take you there. Okay, so she goes down like this, and I throw this leg over there, that leg over there. She says, grab around my neck. She looks like an ostrich, so I grab around her neck. And here she goes. And it seems like in no time at all, we're over the top of New Orleans, and I'm looking at the Mississippi River Bridge. I'm looking at the Natchez Riverboat and the Calliope's going. It's daytime. I can see my mama hanging the sheets out on the line there. And I want to say something. She says, they can't hear you, but we got to go back. So she takes me back. The sun's starting to come up on Guam. And I give her a big hug and tell her thank you so much. That meant so much to me. And I go back to my tin shack without glass in the windows and you know, with people walking back and forth that I don't know. And another week or so goes by. I'm not picking up Chamorro. They're slaughtering pigs outside my door, which is not something I'm real familiar with neither. And I have another fit of depression. So I go down to the beach. And here she comes. Hello, she says. I say, hi, Tau Mona bird. You want to go for a ride? Yes, I sure would love that. I'll show the island. You'll like it. Okay. So I throw this leg on that leg and get on top of it, grab her around the neck, and off we go. She takes me up to Magellan's Fortress, which is really pretty. She flies me over Fina Lake, which is furthermore pretty. She takes me to Talafofo Falls, and there she lands. And we sit on rocks, and she teaches me about life on Guam. And life as a mother, and she can see that I'm pregnant. And then the sun starts to come up. She says, come on, let's go. And back she takes me to the beach. And she says, for heaven's sake, don't tell nobody about me because they all think I eat unborn babies. And I want them to leave me alone. I live in a cave over there, so zip it. I said, yes, ma'am. After a while, I had my baby. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know which end to diaper. I was a completely lost individual. Had never babysat before in my life, much less taking care of a baby. Which leads me to take my baby to the Bob Hope Christmas show and put him on the beautiful white sand underneath a black umbrella, thinking that he was perfectly safe in the shade. Well, he got a hell of a sunburn. You have not lived until you've had a month-old baby with a heck of a sunburn. I take him home. There's nothing I can do for this child. And he squalls day and night, night and day, and I cannot calm him down. So that stretches my nerves just a little bit. So I tell Joe, I said, look, man, I got to go home. I don't know what I'm doing with this baby. I got to go home. So he gets me a plane ticket. And I'm getting ready to go home. But I walk down to the beach one last time, and I give to Tau Tau Monaberg a hug and a kiss. And I tell her goodbye. I make it home to New Orleans, and my child has survived. I am here to tell you that I learned a lot from going to Guam. I learned that I'm a little bit tougher than what I thought I was. I learned that people with black teeth ain't so bad after all. And I learned that you can learn a lot from mystical creatures that nobody believes in but you. And that's my story about going to Guam. Thank you.